yesterday. First pitch, bottom 7, tie ball game. A 1-1 contest at this point as Bay checks in with a home run, his second of the season.
Well, you can struggle hitting with runners in scoring position if you're going to hit it out of the ballpark like Bay just did. And then how about Michael Morris? It looks like he's finally gotten healthy. Hits a home run in the bottom of the 8th inning to give the Mariners the lead, something that they have missed. Michael really started off hot early in the season. That fractured finger had to be bothering him. But it's nice to see him swing well. He's been swinging the bat well for the last couple of days, including that home run yesterday.
Zach Britton against Safeco. Joe Saunders coming up in our pitching matchup. First of 3 with the Baltimore Orioles. Glad you're with us here in Root Sports. Mariners baseball on Root Sports is being brought to you by Ford. We are local. And by the Emerald Queen Casino, presenting comedian and star of the hit TV show Mike and Molly, Billy Gardell, June 22nd. For tickets, go to emeraldqueen.com. Had a chat with Joe Saunders in spring training. Why'd you come to the Seattle Mariners? Well, I like the club, I like the way it's going, and I like pitching in Safeco Field. The numbers are astounding for Mr. Saunders here in this ballpark. Really, really impressive. Take a look. 11 starts, 7-0. Look at that ERA and opponent's batting average, and only giving up 4 home runs.
Well, obviously he's comfortable here, and he'll like it tonight. It's going to be a cool evening. The wind is blowing in from center field, so he can be a little bit more aggressive with his fastball. He's going to use his two-seamer away from the right-handers. Always has the great changeup, an occasional breaking ball. Only 2 lefties in the lineup for the Orioles. He will have his work cut out for him, though. The Orioles 4th in hitting, 2nd in runs scored, and 3rd in home runs this year. So Joe will have to pitch well. This year, 13 1/3 scoreless here at Safeco.
That's a good profile for the Baltimore Orioles. Zach Britton will go for them. He's a guy that didn't pitch well in spring training, was recently called up. He's had several tastes here in the major leagues. What's he bring to the table?
Again, he'll be at 90, 91 miles an hour. Try to sink the ball. He'll use a changeup and a slider. Typically what the guys are going to see today is a fastball slider. Last year they were able to get to him. They scored 7 runs off of him, but this will be his first start of the season. You have to hope that he's a little bit nervous, maybe take advantage of that early in the ball game.
Little chilly. Roof has just been extended to cover us up, and the Mariners really need to get back at these Baltimore Orioles. Last year, the Orioles lost the first matchup and then won the next 8 games against the Mariners. Time to turn that around. Orioles, Mariners, first pitch, straight ahead. Here in Seattle, the rains have come down for the moment, and right now the roof has us covered up. It's all closed in here at Safeco Field as we get ready for the first of 3 with the Baltimore Orioles. This is Mariner Baseball. Dave Sims, Mike Flowers, and a Root Sports crew. And let's take a look at the Baltimore Oriole lineup put together by manager Buck Showalter.
Leading off, it will be Nick Markakis, and then it's Manny Machado. Youngster at third base will hit second. How about Adam Jones in the start that he is off? 352 batting average, 4 home runs, 20 RBIs for Jones. Chris Davis also off to a great start, hitting 349. 9 home runs, 28 RBIs for him. Then it's Wieters, Hardy, Pierce, Reimold, and Alexi Casilla hitting 9th. Numbers for Joe Saunders on the year: a 1-3 record, a 6.33 ERA in 27 innings, 12 walks, 12 strikeouts. He's given up 3 home runs this year. And the T-Mobile defense for the Mariners: Jason Bay in left. Good to see Michael Saunders back out in center field. Michael Morris is in right. And on the infield, Kyle Seager getting the start at third base. Ryan at shortstop. Andino will move from short over to second. And Kendrys Morales will play first 2 days in a row for him. Jesus Montero will do the catching.
Michael Saunders in center field tonight. Great to have him back after the shoulder injury earlier in the year, as Markakis gets a hello from ex-teammate Joe Saunders, who was with this ball club last year. Won a wild card playoff game for him, eliminating Texas. 51 degrees. First pitch at 7-11 as Markakis sending one to short right center field. Saunders taking control, and the ball finds him immediately. Good start for him and Joe Saunders.
You look at Joe Saunders on Wednesday in Houston. Wasn't a good outing for him. 5 innings, 11 hits, 8 runs. They were all earned. Really struggled with command of his fastball, so hopefully that won't be the case here today. 84 pitches in that last outing.
Young Manny Machado Called up last August. Outstanding young player. 2010 first-round pick. Number 3 overall. Called up from AA Bowie. We saw him shortly thereafter. The Mariners were in town. Matter of fact, the day after, Mariners left the day before he got called up, and we saw him in the highlights for the next week or two, and he really played well. Finished at 262, 7 homers and 26 runs batted in.
He's also an exceptional defender. He was a shortstop in the minor leagues before being called up and has moved to third, so he has great range and a strong arm at third.
Mariners play him straight away. Pitching Joe Saunders in there. Strike 3 call. Banged out by Alan Porter. He's got balls and strikes tonight. Greg Gibson at first. Hunter Wendelstadt. Harry, of course, is a great dad and umpire. And Mike Estabrook at third. This is a trio that is carrying this ball club to a 15-10 record. They've won 9 of their last 13 contests.
Some high averages, and then you get into the power of Adam Jones and Chris Davis, off to a great start again with his 9 home runs.
Nathaniel Showalter, we know him as Buck. Turn this franchise around. There's Adam Jones. Chat with Buck earlier today. I said, what do you got with this ball club? He said, to some of its parts, no egos. He said, it's a pass the baton kind of thing. So we stay together, tell these guys, hey, bounce, just bounce things off each other. Don't pay any attention to outside influences. Rick Adair, pitching coach to the left, was with the Mariners for a couple of years. Two and one.
Buck has been around. Managed the Yankees, of course, the Diamondbacks. He's turned some organizations around, and it looks like he has the Orioles on the right track.
Up the middle. And Dino, the former Oriole, throws out his former teammate Adam Jones, hustling down the line. A 10-pitch inning for Joe Saunders. We call him now Safeco Joe. Good start here in the ballpark. Mariners coming up, and Michael Saunders will lead it off. And it's great to have David Wagner with us, 3-time gold medalist, Paralympic tennis performer, throwing out the first pitch to Andy Chavez to get us going here tonight. Let's take a look at the Mariner batting order that will face Zach Britton.
Tonight's starting batting order brought to you by Chevron. Leading off, it'll be Michael Saunders. Good to have him back in the lineup. Then it's Kyle Seager, Morales, Morris with the big home run in the 8th inning last night to get the win for the Mariners. Montero smoked Bay, and Dino moves over to second base against the left-hander. He will hit 8th, and then Brendan Ryan rounding out the 9 for the Mariners. Take a look at Zach Britton. His first start of the year. The Mariners have seen him before. They faced him last year. Struggled in that outing against the Mariners, giving up 7 runs. So hopefully they'll have the same sort of success today. See, overall ERA over 5 last year, 16 1/3 innings for him, 53 strikeouts, 32 walks. That's a high number.
Michael Saunders got one of the big hits for him, welcoming him back to the lineup, leading off, and looks at ball one. Saunders at 286 in 9 games as the club's only triple. Leads the club with 2 sacrifice flies and leads the club with 3 stolen bases. Here's a drive high and deep to right field. Markakis gone back. Taking a look. It's out of here. Home run. Michael Saunders. Welcome back to the door. 1-0 Mariners.
Now, we talked about it in the pregame show, how much he means to this club. Great to have him back. 8-game hitting streak for Michael now. He was on a 7-game hitting streak before he went on the DL. Let's look at this fastball. 91 miles an hour right in the middle of the plate. In the leadoff spot, providing some power. Michael Saunders with 19 home runs last year. Drives this ball out of the ballpark for his 2nd home run of this year. He also led the club in stolen bases.
6th RBI, and for the Mariners, their 28th home run. Starting tonight, the Mariners 6th in the American League in home runs. No doubt about it. Full extension and gone. Guy in the Fez got that. He was here last night or yesterday afternoon. As Kyle Seager ducks out of the way of a breaking ball. 2-0. How good must that feel? Anxious as all heck to get back. Off to a good start. Slam into wall, doing your job. Get hurt. Eric Wedge can't say enough about the last week. He said, hey, man, just talking to the guy. He says, I'm fired up. He says, he is.
Well, he's calling him every day saying, I'm ready, I'm ready.
You've been texting him. This guy was ready, too. He said, the attitude, he said, I get a little hockey player coming out of Saunders, from Victoria Island. First career leadoff homer for Michael Saunders, and the Mariners have an early lead. 3-1 here to Seager. Seager, nice stop down there by Chris Davis on the backhand, will take it himself. Here's the rest of the Orioles defense.
In the outfield, you have Reimold in left. Adam Jones, he's a good one in center field. Nick Markakis, strong arm in right. And on the infield, Machado at third. Hardy and Casilla playing up the middle. Fine backhanded play just now by Chris Davis at first. And then Matt Wieters will do the catching. Take a look at what he did October 3rd of last year. Again, this is his first outing this year against the Rays. Only had 1 inning that he pitched, 13 pitches in that outing.
Strike one to Morales. Morales at 253 homers. 10 runs batted in. Struck out 15 times. Walked 12 times. He's taking his walks. Same with Smoke. Smoke's got a good share of walks too, although he struck out 24 times. Britton did back on August 7th against the Mariners. That game went 14 innings. How about last year, Mike? The Mariners were 1-8 against the Orioles. 2 one-run losses and 3 extra inning losses. The third time we saw him was a 4-2 18-inning loss and a 3-1 11-inning loss.
Well, that was really the thing that was so special about the Orioles last year. What was it, 16 extra inning games, won them all?
54-23 in one-run games, 25 and 14 in two-run games. There's Rick Adair again. Jim Presley, who played for the Mariners.
Yeah, things changing a little bit this year. One-run games this year, 4 and 5, and 1 and 2 in the extra inning games.
It's extraordinary last year.
Yes.
One-run games. At one point, they'd won 13 consecutive one-run games. According to the Elias Sports Bureau, that's second only to the '84 Blue Jays, who won 19 consecutive one-run games. Two and two. Alice putting up a battle. First time Morales facing Zach Britton. Britton made 3 AAA starts. He was recalled 4 days ago. Led the Orioles in 2011 with 11 wins. Here's a pitch. Fouled off again. Down there in Norfolk, Virginia 3 starts, 1-0 with a 1.98 ERA for Britain. 7 walks, struck out 5. Michael Morris awaits. Nice hop to Machado. Good strong throw, 2 outs. We'll bring up Michael Morris. Last time we saw him at the dish in a 1-2 pitch, 8th inning, line drive home run into the bullpen in left field.
There are a lot of good numbers when we talk about the Orioles and what they've done this year. Most of them on the offensive side. They've pitched well. They're 7th in the league in ERA. If you look at one of their Achilles heels would be walks. They've walked a lot of batters, 11th in base on balls this year. So if the guys could be patient, maybe take advantage of that during the series.
That hop off the mound, fielded by Casilla, and that'll do it. But the highlight of this inning, on a 1-0 offering, Michael Saunders goes yard, and the Mariners lead 1-0. Seattle Mariners baseball and Root Sports has been brought to you by Jack in the Box. The Chipotle Chicken Club Combo is back for a limited time at Jack in the Box. Try one today with fries and a drink for just $4.99 plus tax. And by BNSF Railway, the engine that connects us. And we're glad to be connected to our good buddy Jay Buhner. Bone, tell him the Bone sent you.
Yes, sir.
How are you?
Good. How are you guys?
Doing well.
Staying warm?
Yes,
A
indeed.
little smarter this time around, weren't you? Brought your jacket. Last time you were dying
I'm
up
no
here.
dummy. You stole the heater from me, too, so I said I got to buckle up and wear a little sweater and
Nice. Good
some
shirt,
layers.
too. Yeah,
Thank
very
you.
nice. Very nice.
Do you have your ski cap?
Right here.
Okay.
Don't leave home without
All
it.
right. Good to see Saunders back.
Yeah, and with a bang, huh?
Yeah.
Think he's hunting the fastball?
I think so. Middle.
Here's Davis, ground ball, and Dino, 1 out. That's a big out there. Davis with 9 homers and 28 runs batted in. That kid,
He's swinging a little bit,
yeah,
huh?
he went.
Since
hit
leaving Texas?
Gary Thorne said he hit a ball looked like one-handed yesterday.
I watched
See
it.
that one?
Yeah.
And the day before,
out
went
on the front
opposite
foot.
field. Yeah.
But it's all. It just goes to show you. It's all. You get the head there, and it's all in the hands, and they're supplying the power, and you just square it up. I mean, that ball can go a long way.
Michael Saunders.
Absolutely. A little elevated fastball. That's a long way. It's a long way. It's good to see.
Good to see him back.
Yeah. Now it's all downhill, right? I don't think he got Way to be positive.
All right, Jay. Thanks for coming to the
Take
booth.
care. Good night, everybody. See you later.
Waitress.
And Weeder's the hitter.
But, yeah, I mean, you think he's got a little adrenaline going to that first AB?
And Dino, former Oriole, his 3rd play in a row. 2 outs.
I like that. Come back and haunt your old ball club a little bit. See him get a big knock here tonight. Be nice to see, huh?
Yeah.
What is it about that? Guys that always seem to come back and haunt their old ball clubs. It's unbelievable. It's like making a great play and leading off the inning.
It was one of the things that I think Rick Riz and I were talking about yesterday on the pregame show over on the radio side, Jay, and that was something that Lou was a big fan of.
Absolutely.
He was a big fan.
He'd put a guy in just because of that.
Yeah, you could be a bench guy, but if you went up in a series against your former club, you were playing those 3 days.
You know he was wired from the night before, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
J.J. Hardy, shortstop, off to a slow start at a .98.
You know, more times than not, it works, man. Worked a lot for him.
No, the Angels were just in town. We saw Morales come up with a pinch hit to beat that club.
Absolutely. How about that?
And as I was telling Rick, I said he would never say it, but it means a little bit more.
Absolutely. Just like when Vargy gave it up to Michael.
Oh, do you see him shake his head?
You don't think he wanted that? He wanted that win so bad.
It was killing him. Nice job there by Joe Saunders. A 6-pitch inning to get 3 outs. Montero, Smoke, and Bay coming up upon our return here to Safeco Field. Mariners lead 1-0. Top of the Orioles, 1-0 early on here as we take a look at the Mariners calendar. Brought to you by Sleep Country USA. Tomorrow and Wednesday night. Wednesday night gets us into the month of May, and cue up a lot of Willie Nelson on the road again.
Buckle up, boys.
You got that
Have
right.
fun. Yeah. Enjoy that hotel.
Hotel, motel.
I know they have room for you. Nice short trip to Toronto.
Toronto's solid. I like Toronto.
It's a good town.
But that's not a short trip.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Montero fouls one off. Then, Mike, you'll get a chance to get an oxygen mask on when we go to Pittsburgh and sit high atop the press box.
I heard it's way up there, but you know what? I'm actually looking forward to.
That's a great stadium.
I think it's the only one that I haven't been to.
I'd love to go there.
It's a great look. You look out to the Monongahela River, the Clemente Bridge. Good stuff.
That's what I love about interleague play. You get a chance to go to fields that you normally would never get a chance to go see or play at.
Montero to center field for Adam Jones. So you're walking in. What was the wind like coming in from center field? You're out with Brad and Bill.
It was a little bit of a. It was blowing.
Yeah,
quite frankly.
Yeah.
A little chilly.
Coming straight in.
Now it's amazing. You get out there, you don't realize how much it gets. It comes right through there, but it was blowing through there pretty good. It's a little chilly out there now.
You've played a lot of games in this ballpark with the roof closed. How much do you have to pay attention to that as an outfielder?
Really and truly, I just try to play when I was an outfielder, playing on top of my head as best I could, stay underneath it, and know your hitters. It's part of the scouting report. You know who's going to flare it over there or who's going to drive it over there, and I think that definitely helps. And you got to know your pitcher a little bit too. But for the most part, I didn't worry about that a whole lot.
Here's Smoke, hitting 107 as a right-hand hitter, 3 for 28.
I think I was more worried about the moisture on the ground, that ball skipping more than the fly ball.
Like the flat rock?
Yeah, I mean, Anaheim, you go into Anaheim, that ball's snaky. Some grasses are a lot different, so I always come out early before a series and go out and walk the warning track, count my steps, and check out the funky angles and all the different things.
A couple of hops to Machado. Rosen Davis, 2 down.
How good is that kid? Was he 20? You say he's 21. I hear he's not 21 yet. I hear he's still 20.
I just wrote it down. He is.
He can't even go out and have a beer yet.
He came. He's 20. He'll be 22 on July 6th. Stud.
Oh, just a vacuum cleaner over there.
That's why I think the game is in such good shape. Trout just left here, same thing, 20 years old. You have Harper, who's 21. It's good to see the great talent, and it's so young for the game. I think it's great.
And then we don't even talk about the amount of arms. We were talking about that earlier. All these kids that are throwing 95, 96 now, and the bullpens, and how young a lot of these bullpens are, and these kids coming out. It's amazing, man. But Machado, I mean, the things that he does on the field, just from a mental standpoint, it's amazing.
A gapper for Bay. Way in front of him. He'll hold with a single. So Bay picking up where he left off yesterday. 7th inning leadoff homer that tied it at 1-1.
Some good ABs, huh?
He has, including the home run yesterday. But this is a good one. A little sinker running away from him, stays with it, hits a line drive into right field.
I like it. Doesn't try to do too much. Just throw the hands and the head.
I liked his comments after the game yesterday when he hit the home run, talking about Vargas. He said that he struck out his first 2 times. And he said Jason had such a great changeup that he decided I'm not going to let him get to it. And he jumped on a first pitch fastball, which was, he's a veteran. It's a smart thing to do.
Exactly. Why look for something you can't hit, right?
Yes. There's a lot to that.
There is, man. Until you buy into it, too. That's what takes a lot of these kids a little bit longer.
And Dino, first pitch swinging, grounds to Casilla, who flips to Hardy for the 3rd out. Mariners leave a man. 3rd inning coming up. Mariners lead by 1. One nothing. Mariners over the Orioles, first of 3, and it's the shirt that has everyone, including Buffalo's, talking. You voted, and the first T-shirt Tuesday of the season is going to be Brendan Ryan's "I Talk the Buffaloes" T-shirt. It's a nod to the shortstop's co-star from this year's Mariners commercials. It's free to the first 5,000 fans at tomorrow's 7-10 game against these Orioles. So get your ticket, see the winning design. Go to mariners.com/T-shirt.
So that's what's going through his head when he's at the plate.
Hey, you know.
Don't listen to that guy.
You did your share of commercials. You had a lot of fun doing that stuff.
Those are fun, man.
Jay Buhner with us here in the booth. Here's Joe Saunders, 3rd inning. Steve Pierce, Nolan Reimold, and Alexi Casilla, 7, 8, 9 here for the Orioles.
Copacino group, they did a good job on those commercials.
2-0 to Pierce. Steve, a couple of stints with the Orioles last year as he looks at a strike. Mariner Trends on Twitter. Welcome back to Michael Saunders.
He's ready to get back up for a second AB. Why wouldn't you be?
Exactly. Feeling pretty good about it.
Absolutely. And sit on that first dead red again, because maybe the pitcher thinks it was a fluke.
Good thought. You've been there, right?
Yeah.
Taking a look.
The game inside the game.
Oh,
nice
he hung with it. That's nice out there. Hey, no tarp there. The tarp had been there before in that spot. He catches a break.
Well, the other thing, too, with Morales, he's DH most of the year. He's played first base the last couple of days. And so you go over there, you're not real sure where that wall is. Good concentration, though. Good play.
You got a roof. Why do you need the tarp?
I remember seeing a tarp.
There was a tarp.
There was a tarp.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. It's like.
Nolan Reinbold, a couple of years ago, he had some big hits against the Mariners. Strike one.
Were you normally a fast starter?
Not really.
No.
Not really. I like getting into May. Getting out of April is a little cold.
Base hit through the hole by Reinbold.
I didn't like that cold weather a whole lot. I didn't like when those pitchers got in. I'm throwing the knuckles. That didn't feel real good.
72 degrees every day in the Kingdom.
And the Kingdom, it was squishy though, man. There's no doubt. But I mean, come on, how many games did we start in Chicago or Detroit? It's like, why are we starting here?
Cleveland.
It's like it's cold
as
coldest place it can be, and we're starting here.
Don't get us started.
We got snow. We got the first game. We got snowed out in Detroit, and the next day they had the Zamboni out, and we're playing a doubleheader, and it's a whole. I think it was a high of 30, kind of like what it's been in Colorado lately.
Yeah, you saw that. All the snow
That's what the Detroit guys were talking about. They're like, hey, 50, this is great weather compared to what we've been.
Here's Casilla, switch hitter, former Minnesota Twins second baseman, and Dino stays with it in front of Michael Morse for the second out.
I'd like to see Michael take a little more charge right there. A little bit easy to come in, huh?
Been there. And if you're in Dino, you certainly don't want to be making contact.
6'5" and hearing those footsteps barreling down on you.
They don't call him
snorting at you.
He doesn't call himself the beast for nothing.
I don't think he's going to win in that one.
No. Top of the order, Markakis. 2 outs here in the third. Nick Markakis. A couple of DL stints last year. Good player. Great throwing arm. Markakis flied out to center. First time up. Joe Saunders unbeaten in this Safeco Field. Bouncing ball to Andino. Getting a lot of action against his former team. And good work there as Saunders strands Reinbold on the base paths. It's a 1-0 Mariner lead. First of 3 of the Orioles. Mariners lead 1-0. Enjoy a Mariners game from the All-Star Club. located on a suite level. Premium section features both outdoor and indoor seating, private bar, and an all-inclusive buffet. Now, we know you're going to love it so much that you're going to want to go back for more. So we're offering 10-game packages ideal for entertaining clients, family, and friends. So for more info about the All-Star Club at Safeco Field, go to mariners.com/premium. Brendan Ryan, Michael Saunders, and Kyle Seager 9-1-2 against Zach Britton. Strike one to Ryan, trying to get that batting average up. He's at 148.
I just like to see him be more aggressive on the fastball. I mean, that's what he's going to get. Fastball, I mean, it's for him, it'd be look for one thing, and I think you're safe to say he's going to get a heater. Several.
Well, it's an interesting thing because the other day I was talking to Raul Ibanez down in the dugout during batting practice, and he was talking normal stuff, you know, in between some pitches right now and that kind of thing. And that's kind of what we got back to, even for a veteran guy like Raul who's been around. He said, you know, just need to get back on the fastball, get on one pitch, and then the key is not to miss it. But I would agree. I think sometimes you just have to get a little more aggressive early in counts and not give him that first fastball like he ended up getting, which was in the middle of the plate. So,
and I don't care if it's the first time you've seen the guy or not. You want to see what his velocity is or anything? Well, watch the velocity as it comes off your bat when you're around in first base. Don't sit around.
Figure most of that out when you're standing on deck, right?
Exactly. Time it. Isn't that what you're supposed to do on deck?
Pop this one up. Wieters has it lined up, makes the catch. Back to the top of the order. And Michael Saunders. Time for Sterling Beck. Nobody works harder for you. And guys, you got to love his approach right here.
Well, just what we were talking about. Fastball, 91 miles an hour, middle on the plate. And he hits it out to right center field, which is a long way, especially tonight. Jay was telling us about the wind blowing in. It's a cool evening. That's a nice way to get started. Welcome back.
Absolutely. Well, if you take a look at the flag right now, you can see that it's blowing in pretty good.
Yeah.
Starched. You hit them like that, though, it don't matter.
A little wrinkle in that first pitch.
Got him off the fastball real quick.
You see, second pitch up and in the middle of the plate. And that was a 91 mile an hour fastball. And they jumped all over it.
0-1. Mariners coming off their first series win. They did it against the Angels. 3 out of 4. They left the building happy yesterday. 1-1 outside.
Angels didn't look real good, did they?
No.
Boys struggling a little bit. You know that's going to happen.
Yeah.
They're going to get hot. But
we saw last year with Pujols, right? Had just struggled through April, couldn't get anything going, and the next thing you know, 30 home runs, 100 RBIs.
Yeah, they said he had a bad year. He had 100, whatever it was.
Anytime
you drive it nowadays with these kids, we're talking about these young arms and how hard these guys are throwing. I mean, I think it's the era of the pitcher. When you drive in 100 nowadays, that's getting busy.
Yeah.
And 30 bombs. But you're getting paid, man. So it comes with the territory.
Quick swing. Saunders gone. Got fooled on that one. First strikeout.
I think he was looking a little curveball right there.
Wasn't quite ready for the heater. I think the same thing's going to happen with Hamilton. He just has too much talent. He's swinging at everything right now. Jay, I don't know if you saw the series this weekend, but he was hacking away. Eventually, some people are going to pay for that. That's something that we used to talk about all the time. Have your fun right now, but eventually it's going to turn around for him, and that's when they're going to play better, I think.
Albert last year 30 and 105 with a 285.
Yeah.
It's pretty good, man.
Kyle Seager looks at ball one.
I'm still a little surprised that Hamilton left Texas. I think they embraced him well there. I think
everybody was surprised by that.
With his personality, I think, you know, not having to reacclimate himself to new teammates, a new organization, a new city, surprised me.
Through the hole, Kyle Seager starting another hitting streak.
Snapped a 16-gamer yesterday, but starts another one today. Solid base hit into right.
Take a look at our lows. Never stop improving. And Kyle Seager's first 10 games, a .147, but boy, did he come on after that. Nicely done. .365 batting average.
I love watching him play. He's a little grunt, man. He just gets after it. Sticks his nose in there, gets his hacks in, plays good defense.
Smart player.
Not super flashy, gets the job done. It's impressive, and he's got a great idea. He could hit.
Over the 16-game hitting streak, he hit .390 to raise his average up. Coming into today, he was at .289.
And that is 16-game hitting streak is hard to do.
It's hard to do. What was your longest?
Maybe 10 or 12.
Strike two. Morales count evens at 1-1.
Remember when Ventura would he get 40? I mean, he was like in the 40s and climbing. I was like, you hit 40 straight games.
I can also remember when he first started. I think he was 0 for 40. Remember that?
Yeah. It's not how you start, it's how you finish.
Being patient with him worked out just fine.
Markakis on the scene, makes the play. And that'll do it for the Mariners. They ride a 1-0 lead into the 4th inning. Root Sports is being brought to you by CenturyLink, your link to what's next. By Sterling Bank, nobody works harder for you. Equal housing lender, member FDIC. And by American Family Insurance. Your dream is out there. Go get it. Find out more at amfam.com/dreams. Good look at some contact being made there by Kyle Seager as he gets a 2-out base hit in the 3rd. Dad and son enjoying this contest. The Mariners with a record of 7-7 here at home. Here's Manny Machado. He's 20 years old. 20 years old, 21 in July. Foul back. Manny struck out looking his first time. Down to 1-1. Out of Miami, Florida, lives in Hialeah. Off-speed pitch, hit up the middle. Andino, good base hit.
Just bounded back up the middle. It looked like Andino was going to be able to make the play. Gets a good hop. Hits in the heel of his glove. Machado runs well. He would have had to put something on the throw to get him.
How about this American League West score, boys? Houston at the Yankees wins 9-1, 17 hits. 9 runs, 17 hits. The Yankees are run on 8 hits and an error.
I think you guys got them hot, didn't you?
I know something about that club. They have a bunch of young kids in there, and they are hacking, Jay. So if you're pitching in the middle of the plate, they're going to hurt you.
Was that big guy, Clark? Is that his name?
The kid that got hurt. Who was the kid that got hurt the other day? The center fielder who liked him.
Chris Carter.
Carter,
yeah. Carter, the left fielder DH. Who was the other kid that hurt him?
They swing it. There's no doubt about it.
There it is right here. Justin Maxwell. He's the big kid that got
broke his wrist.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that kid was getting off.
Yeah. Sure enough, Ryan flips and they get the double play. Nice play started by Robert Andino. They double up Machado and Jones.
Well, that's a good way to come right back. Good to see Saunders keeping the ball on the ground when he's good. That's what he's doing. Throws that sinker up there and a nice changeup. See Adam Jones reaching for this pitch and hits it right there. An easy play for Andino.
Squeeze in the middle on him a little bit.
Yeah. Good scouting report.
Yes, sir. Got him turned into a pretty nice player, wouldn't you say?
Really good player.
Man.
Two-time All-Star Adam Jones.
Broke in as a shortstop.
That was the first month, but you look at the league leaders, he's all over it.
No, I was looking at that.
There's Chris Davis. What a start for this guy. It's on the page, careful. 2-0.
Yeah, since leaving Texas, he's putting up some numbers, isn't he?
It's the American League with 9 home runs.
A little front foot home run the other day. It was pretty impressive.
Saunders back on the strike.
Consistent playing time sometimes to do the trick.
Yeah, communication's huge, and knowing what your role is day in and day out, you're going to be penciled in there. It makes a huge difference.
Davis leads the league in RBIs as well. Boy, what a big hack that was. 2-2.
36 pitches for Joe, now 24 strikes. There you go, see, league leader 9, Aaron Tebia 8. Michael Morris is amongst a group of 5 with 7. It's good to see him back swinging the bat well.
Shoots one through the hole. Chris Davis.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Slugging percentage leader as well. He checks in with a base hit.
Fastball middle away. Brendan Ryan was playing him up the middle. You would expect him to try to pull the ball. Finds a hole on the left side. Weeder's off to a little bit of a slow start. 210 at the beginning of the game. He does have 3 home runs on the year.
Ball one to Matt, switch hitter. Grew up playing Little League ball with Justin Smoke back in Goose Creek, South Carolina. He was grounded out to second his first time up. Saunders, 31 years old, plays college ball at Virginia Tech. So back in the count here, 2-1. Runner goes. Swung on and hit foul out of play. Chris Davis on the move. Mariners lead 1-0. Michael Saunders led off the home first with his second home run and 6th RBI of the season. 4th leadoff home run by the Mariners this season. Gutierrez hit the other 3. There's a drive deep left field. Going down the line. That ball's gone. 2-run homer Matt Wieters, who caught Joe Saunders last year when Joe, of course, was with the Orioles, and now the Orioles take the lead at 2-1. Came on a 2-2 pitch. Oh, we got a lot of Orioles fans in the house here tonight.
The Baltimore Orioles came into the game 3rd in the league in home runs. It looks like Joe tries to go up and in on him. Didn't quite get it there. Wieters cuts it off at the pass, his 4th home run of the year. It's the out-of-town scoreboard.
Goes in somebody's beer right here.
Every time you're here, we get somebody blowing a soup that Carp hit a couple of years ago and hit it here at Cafe. And now that one. J.J. Hardy, 1-0 pitch.
Speaking of Mike Carp, he's doing pretty well for the Red Sox, isn't he?
Started off slow, and he's coming on. A couple knocks yesterday.
Ground ball, Seager takes care of it and throws out Hardy for the 3rd out. 2-run homer by Matt Wieters puts Baltimore back on top for the first time tonight, 2-1. Coming up for the Mariners, Michael Morse. You got Jesus Montero and Justin Smoke.
Trailing, need to get one back as we head into the bottom of the 4th. Hi, everyone. Angie Mentink here at the Ford Sports Desk. Meantime, the Tacoma Rainiers return home for a homestand, and 2 of their players are going to have to make room on the mantle. Nick Franklin was named the Player of the Week after hitting .474 of the last 7 days. 5 night against Las Vegas, and Andrew Carraway earned PCL Pitcher of the Week honors, guys, after taking a no-hitter into the 7th. It's the first time Tacoma has swept the PCL awards in the same week since 2005. Guys?
All right, Angie, good stuff. Congratulations to those 3 men. Michael Morse, a hard ground out to second base. It's last 3 at bats. He has really hit the ball hard.
I think over the last 3 days, you can really see the difference in him.
Yep.
Eric Wedge gave him the day off, and it seemed like it helped. That fractured finger, I know it had to affect him. He was swinging the bat so well before he was hit on the hand, and now it looks like it's much better, and he's starting to drive the baseball again.
2-1 from Zach Britton.
You ever break your fingers?
No.
Anything like that?
No, I mean, as you know, I mean, your foundation, your feet, and your hands are 2 of the most important things. So,
base hit from Morse into the right center field gap. They overpowered that one. Thought about it. Jones gets it back in.
I like it though. Force a bad throw.
And he and Morse are good buddies.
Good swing, inside out swing. Looked like it was a little cutter in on his hands. Michael hits it hard back up the middle. Take a look at the bobble out there. Markakis kicks it around, and you don't want to run on that arm.
Brings up Montero, who flied out to center field on an 0-2 pitch, leading off the 2nd.
You at one point, didn't you have plantar fasciitis in your feet?
Yeah, I ended up having to get surgery for it.
How hard was it for you to hit? I know running and walking
it's brutal.
Is it?
Yeah, it's brutal. I mean, you
Albert
feel
Pujols was just here. He's dealing with it now.
And him, I think his was brought on because of that knee in spring training, and he kept playing on that knee and compensating for it. And now he's got plantar fasciitis, and it's brutal. I mean, you got to sleep with your foot outside the sheets and all the different deals and exercises, and sleep with a special deal to keep your toe up and take the pressure off. And I mean, your feet, as you know, that's that foundation you got to drive off of. And to watch him, it looks painful just to watch him run down the bases, but he's in there. We'll see how long it lasts.
What do you give him? I mean, how long do you think he can carry that?
I don't know how bad it is, but I know for me, I kept trying to play, and then after a while, there's just stick a fork in me is what it literally felt like, and I had to get surgery.
Is that surgery in season or postseason?
It was right at the start of the season.
Oh, jeez. In the dirt, 2-1.
One of these times for fun, Dave, we had to bring his chart up. They had a chart at one point.
His medical chart?
Yeah, it was hilarious. He had everything going on.
Little skeleton chart, almost full size.
Right, like the game. Right, okay.
Yeah.
Ricky and those guys dialed it up for you?
Yeah, went up for that retirement deal, and he brought it out and showed it to everybody. And he's got dental floss going to all the different deals and describing what the injury was.
It's a mess.
Oh, yeah.
What was the deal with the back of your knees playing in that carpet all the time? You had something going on.
It's this one it's called a Baker's cyst. It's in the back of your knee, and anytime I go to Kansas City or Toronto or a place where it was on AstroTurf, the back of my knee would get fluid in it and would just put the pressure on the kneecap. It's brutal. And as soon as I get off the turf, it'd go away.
3-1 to Montero. Check this swing. He's aboard. First walk by Britton. 2 men aboard here. Be here this Thursday. An exciting MLS matchup. Watch Portland. The Timbers are going to play host to the New England Revolution at 7:30. Catch all the action only on Root Sports. Justin Smoke's second plate appearance, grounded out the third on a 2-0 count.
See him get squishy right here, Michael.
Going back is the second baseman, Casilla, makes the play. Everybody's back safely. Jay Buhner joining us in the booth here tonight. Always a pleasure to have the Bone with us. Chilly night here in Seattle.
Bundle up.
Since we last saw you, give me your impressions of what you've seen so far from this ball club, the Mariner ball club.
Well, I like the young guys are starting to get hot. Ackley's made some adjustments up there, starting to him and Seager both have been pretty squishy the last during the homestand. And it's nice to see the cog in the middle of the lineup with Morris get the big home run last night or yesterday. And,
great to have Saunders back.
And have Saunders one swing of the bat, and that shows you what he can do.
Here's Jason Bay. Got a base hit to right center his last time up. 2 on here, 1 out. You got Morris at second. Leadoff single. Walk to Montero. Put him down at second. Outside, Jeff Dat's taking a leave, and a new third base coach, John Bad Dude Stearns. 12 years in the big leagues with the Mets, Montreal. He was a DB and a good one at the University of Colorado. Beat Penn State with Franco Harris and Lydell Mitchell, 41-13 his senior year.
I'm impressed. You did your homework.
Wow, he's the first guy I ever wrote about as an intern in 1973. Really? The Phillies drafted him. And I was an intern at the Philadelphia Inquirer, and I had to call him. And that's how we go way back every time I see him. He's roving catching coordinator for the Mariners, brought in this year. So Stearns taking the place of Jeff Datz, who's taking care of the cancer battle. That's down the line. It's a fair ball. Coming around to score is Morris. Montero coming to third. He'll get the stop sign. In the second with a double is Jason Bay. 2-2 ball game. Jason Bay with his second double, his 6th RBI. And he's 2 for 2 tonight.
Like it. Nice knock with men in storm position.
Take a look at the swing by Jason Bay. Went to right field his first time up, and this time looked like it was a cutter. They didn't quite get it in there, and he hits it hard down into the corner. Jason trying to get a little more playing time.
That'll do it, too. Keep showing some thunder like that, you're going to get in there.
So hit the stands out there, made it difficult for Reimold for a moment.
I was a little surprised he tried to go to second base right there, because then he missed. The ball would have been all the way down right field. Yeah. And then next thing you know, everybody scores right there.
Here's a big spot for Robert Andino, an Oriole last year. Hurt the Mariners with a home run here in the middle visit.
First time to haunt your old team right here. Come on.
Well, with Montero at third base, doesn't run well. They'll play the infield about halfway in. He's going to pitch up in the zone, something they can get in the air.
Two on, 1 out. Breaking ball catches that outside corner, 1-2. Outside again, so 2-2. There you go. That's the extra base hit you were looking for. Marquez is a great throw on Stearns. Puts up the stop sign of Bay. Mariners take the lead 3-2. Robert Andino. RBI against his former team.
Hey, it's contagious.
Good hitting by Andino, getting a pitch out over the plate, stay inside of it. Don't try to do too much. Solid line drive into right field.
Rick Adair, the pitching coach, going to come out and speak to Zach Britton as Montero scores. Andino with his 3rd RBI this season.
On that throw by Reimold, Marquez should be backing that up, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because there was nobody there. First base was coming over. I mean, had he missed, who was at second right there? Boy, you've been running for days. I just come up all down the line. As soon as he hits that outcropping right there, it bounces out. For me personally, I concede that. You know, it's down the line right here. It kicks out right there. It's dead. I mean, really and truly, you got no shot at second base right here. Just come up, hit your cutoff man at third. Watch what happens right here. Had he missed right there, which he almost did, there was nobody backing up behind second base.
Second baseman Casilla did the right thing, coming off the bag. Right. Don't give it a chance to hit the ground. Just come get it. There's no play there.
Exactly. You try to knock it down, even it kicks off, and now the guy walks home from third.
Right.
So sometimes you just gotta know your limitations. Just eat it. Come on, throw it back in. Get your cut off. Your job's done. Pretty simple.
So basically, if you were in right field, you would assume he's not going to do that, and you'd be out there eating sunflower seeds.
No. You learn in this game one time that you don't want to be the hee-haw and get caught in baseball gods find you. And I am always killing some grass. Be moving in. Just be in the ball game. I mean, you got nothing else to do. You might as well get somewhere. So I'm always kind of trying to feed in somewhere, just in case if he does do that and he kicks off.
You always want to be an infielder anyway.
Not really. During BP, I did.
0-1 to Ryan. Runners at the corner. The bunt. Baltimore chop bunt goes foul.
Could never get my work in. You took more grounders at third than I did.
I know, and I loved you. Let me do it, man. I appreciate it. Now, come on, you know that. You'd say, hey, let me get my grounders in. You come over and do all you want. And then John McLaren would try to hit rockets at us over there, you know. And inevitably, I mean, it was a blast. I enjoyed it.
Brings up a point, something we were talking about this weekend, and that is clubs don't take infield anymore. What do you think about that?
You know, throughout the course of the year, it's such a grind, especially later in the season when it starts to get hot. I mean, personally, I wasn't a big fan of it. really and truly for me, I'm getting all my work in during BP. If I hit in the first group, I go out for the second group, get all my fly balls.
But you don't get to throw then.
Yes, I do. Absolutely. My outfield coach is out there hitting me balls, and I'm throwing them into him at second base. I'm working on balls down the line. I'm working on balls to the right, left. I'm getting my little bananas. I'm getting around the ball. I'm working on my backhand rakes.
You don't see that anymore, though. I mean, guys get their working out there, but they don't throw.
But for me, that's what I took pride in. I learned that years ago from Rusty Kuntz. I would go out, and I'd love to do that. I love to go out there and work on my one-hops. Because in the outfield, depending on which direction you go and what angle you take, you're not always going to be able to come over the top. So you got to work on arm angles too, even in the outfield, just like a lot of infielders. So I took great pride in making sure I knew exactly where my release point was. Got me into the game a little bit, got me to know, like what we talked about earlier, got me to know what the field was like and the conditions were like and how's the outfield grass and where the little kickouts are and the funny little hops and how the ball bounces off the wall, what the warning track surface is like, because here at Cinder, these guys right here, Baltimore, it's that rubber mat, so it takes a funky hop and a different hop there. I mean, everything's different throughout the course. That's the only time when the game starts, I want to be able to go play the game. I don't want to have to worry about where the ball is going to take a funny hop or how it's going to come off the wall. I already know. I've done my homework.
You were lucky to have Rusty Kuntz. He was one of the best.
Absolutely the best, and that's why he's continually keeps getting brought back into the game. Kansas City keeps bringing him back, because they got such a great young team and good young outfielders, and he is the best, hands down, at teaching and being an outfielder.
Well, I agree. I had never played the outfield in my life, and he got me to the point to where I was serviceable, so that when you needed a Band-Aid, I could go out there and fill in that one day.
And he keeps it simple.
And I felt like I had a chance, but it was because of Rusty. He's so good.
He knows how to break it down and keep it simple and keep it positive, because he knows you're already going to be out there kind of naked going, oh man, don't hit it to me sometimes, because you're not used to being out there. I mean, that's just how it is. I mean, and so he'd always say, hey, you know, play over, pinch the gaps, anything down the line's a double anyway, or King Dome days, anything over your head, it's off the wall anyway, so don't worry about it. Just try to simplify to make it as simple as possible and positive as possible.
Big spot here for Ryan with the 2-2 count. Swing and a miss. He is gone. 2 outs.
Again, the little things, getting those bunts down early.
Second strikeout for Britton, and here's Saunders, top of the order. I don't want to leave those two guys out there. Mariners left a whole bunch of folks on the last few games.
Well, the good news in this one, they're 2 for 3 now with runners in scoring position, but it says runners at third, less than 2 outs. You really want to pick those up, especially if you're struggling coming up with the big base hit.
33 left on against the Angels. Saunders started the home first with a bang. Second home run. Ball 1 to Michael. 7th man to the plate here in the 4th inning. Pretty quick response by the Mariners after Baltimore took the lead in the top half of the inning. With a 2 spot, Mariners have 2 on the board in this frame and looking for more.
Sitting on that curveball, I like it. I think that goes back to his last AD a little bit.
I would agree. You can see the location. It was a good spot on the outside corner. He leaves that on the plate a little bit more. Michael probably hits it hard somewhere. See, his last about all those pitches away from him was the breaking ball.
Ball 2 strikes. Interesting, the game within the game.
That's the beauty of it, man. You can look like a hee-haw up there, and then all of a sudden you got one. Remember, you got one more strike. Stick your nose in there. You never know.
Bay at third and Dino at second. 2 outs. Mariners do lead 3-2, trying for more here. 1-2 to Saunders. With the breaking ball, missed 2-2.
Well, that's a good miss right there.
Two.
Get it.
Full count.
Wieters is so good back there too. You can see that pitch just off the plate away, but the way he catches it and frames the ball, he's one of the best. Tried to steal a strike for his pitcher. You take a look at it and watch Wieters just set up, turn back inside. We have BAL on all the time. Danny comes up here, and that's what they talk about. Get that angle, help your pitcher out.
Saunders walks, loads him up for Kyle Seager.
Hey, that's a great AB. For coming off the DL, only 3 stints down in AAA, to have that great eye right there, great take. It's a great AB.
Now you get Seager, 3rd in the American League and 2 out RBIs last season. Got him up here, 2 outs with the bases loaded.
That was a 3-2 breaking ball too, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah, I definitely would have swung at that one.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. You were talking about Mike Morris. I think that's the difference between him right now, is knowing that in the American League they don't give in regardless of 3-2 or not, compared to the National League, and knowing that when first base is open and what have you. So
nowhere to put Seager. Breaking ball misses, ball 1. Britton, 2 strikeouts, 2 walks, giving up 3 runs on 6 hits.
BAL still looking for his first career Grand Slam. He's done well in these situations, though, hitting an even .500 with the bases loaded in his career.
Joe Saunders back in front with the lead here. 1-0 to Seager. Make it 2-0.
It's been a while since you had a good call like that, Michael. Let's do it right here.
Grand Slam? Yeah. All right. 74 pitches for Britton. 41 of those are strikes. They should get a fastball to hit. Has 3 home runs on the year, 2 of them coming off a left-handed pitching.
I don't know about you, but I'm diving. Looking the hook.
2-0.
Had it, missed it.
Left field for Reimold. Mariners leave them loaded. They do take the lead. Kepler ribbies by Bay and Andino. Mariners lead 3-2. As we go to the 5th against the Baltimore Orioles, making their first visit and only visit this season. Time for our AT&T trivia question. Which team, and we're not going to look at our stat sheets, which team has the best Major League record this season? Braves, Rangers, Red Sox, or the Pirates? I know the Pirates did start the day in first place. I know we do go to the Pirates.
I know it's between A and D.
I think you're right.
Pittsburgh is like, I know the other day didn't they tie it up? Didn't they?
Hey, there was Moose Clausen up on the screen.
Moose, old buddy.
Yeah, Moose is up on Diamond Vision, on Mariner Vision. Let's go. I'll go with the Pirates since we're going there next week.
Yeah, I think so too.
All right.
Go with it as well, which is a great story for baseball,
isn't it?
I love it.
Back to have them relevant again.
I love it.
Steve Pierce to lead it off. Pierce the DH. Followed by Nolan Reimold and Alexi Casilla. First time around for Pierce. He fouled out to first baseman.
Sorry, bud. It's good to be walking around town seeing some Pittsburgh Pirate hats again. It's been a long time. Last year they got hot. I know their sales went way up.
When you were playing, do you remember a guy that had a record like Saunders has in this ballpark, 7-0, just microscopic numbers.
Watched the guy yesterday that had pretty good numbers here in this ballpark in Vargy. Guys just for whatever reason feel good in certain ballparks. Just like as hitters, you go to certain ballparks, and
what was your park?
I loved hitting in Oakland, and I loved hitting in Yankee Stadium in Texas, and Kansas City just ate me up for whatever reason.
Just did, no matter what you did. A Seager throws out Pierce.
I don't know if it was a setup, the batter's eye, or what it was. It was just, or a heck of a scouting report.
Well, Yankee Stadium got you on Seinfeld, so
it always got me locked back in it too. I always look forward to going into Yankee Stadium and then going back to Texas for some good old home cooking.
The ball you hit over the ambulance, that was your first time in after the trade?
No, that was a little later on. That was off Wade Taylor. That was a good road trip. I hit one right there, and then my second furthest one in my career was the series before that at Baltimore.
I was at the game, the one you hit at Yankee Stadium. That was unbelievable.
That was fun. Whew. Those are the fun ones you love to hit. You know, you feel them come off the bat.
Saw it all away.
Yeah,
just unloaded.
High elevated fastball.
Right.
Just connected just right.
Who was that off again?
That was off Wade Taylor.
Wade Taylor. I remember him right-handed.
I hit another good one, squishy off of. Oh man, who was it? Jeff Ballard, I think, in Baltimore.
Man, we're back.
We're going way back.
Yeah. Reimold behind 1-2. Siegel to left his first time. 3-2 Mariners. Mariners will see the Orioles again in Baltimore August 2, 3, 4 weekend series of Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
That's another great ballpark. You gotta love going there.
Oh, as a right-hand hitter, you must have eaten that alive, right? As that one found, 364 to the gap in left center field.
Oh, it's just, yeah, you can get out in front and hook one out, but I just love the environment and everything about it. Just right where it is. It's awesome. The old brick warehouse out there in right field, the way the fans sit up along the top, they're right on top of you. Yep. I just love that.
2-2 to Reimold. Took something off of that, backhanded by Seager.
Nice play, nice play on that hop.
Nice strong throw, 2 outs. Next car in a Mariners collectible train car series. It arrives at Safeco Field Saturday, May 11th. The train has a bartender. That's right, it's a Tom Wilhelmsen train engine. And it's free to the first 20,000 fans when the Mariners take on the A's. To make sure you're all aboard for train night, pick up your tickets now at mariners.com. 2 outs. Here's Alexi Casilla. Casilla, the former Minnesota Twins second baseman. Claimed off waivers from Minnesota last November. Saunders is getting 0-2.
I like it. Saunders had a little hiccup, settles right back in, and locked back in again. That's part of the game, man. Sometimes you got to tip your hat and move on. Otherwise, it'll drive you nuts.
That's the thing, the mental aspect of this game. How did you keep yourself sometimes from absolutely going?
Try to stay positive and know that you're only as good as the last pitch, your last AB. And then the beauty of it is, if you're an everyday player, you get a chance to come back tomorrow for redemption.
I was there. I talked to Smoke before the game. I ran into him. I was coming in. He was coming out. Dude, how we doing? Fine. Not reading anything, he's not a radio TV guy or any of that kind of stuff. He said, I've had worse struggles than this. He seemed very positive. Good for him. Hopefully it'll start to turn for him. I mean, that's what they keep hoping.
Well, good for him, but as you know, at some point you got to step up. You got to step up. And at some point, accountability is going to have to set in, and they're going to have to make a decision. And I love the kid, and you always want to see these kids be successful. But it's part of the game.
Yep.
Game goes on.
Into the bat, Andino gets another play. 1-2-3. Nice job by Saunders after the Mariners gave him the lead back at 3-2. Morales, Morrison, Montero, the 3M company due up. Safeco Field. Rainy, windy night in Seattle. 3-2 lead coming up. CenturyLink to what's next. Tomorrow's matchup, Jason Hamill against Brendan Maurer. Maurer, boy, you can see his confidence rising.
I'm liking him
every time out.
You can see why he made the team on the spring training, huh?
Yeah. He's very aggressive. His last few times out, I talked to him a few weeks ago. He said, I'm not worried about the scouting report in Blake Bevan. Hey, I'm do what Doug Fister does, throw my game. There's Morales, followed by Morse and Montero. Kendry's 0 for 2 tonight. Mariner RBIs tonight. Michael Saunders leadoff homer. One out double in the fourth by Bay and Andino, followed with an RBI to right field. 2-run homer by Matt Wieters for Baltimore's runs, and that was in the fourth. Ground ball down to Hardy. Throws over to Davis. One out. Here's Michael Morse. Hit the ball hard on a ground out to second in the first inning. Fourth inning, single to center, to right center. But the line drive home run he hit yesterday in the bullpen.
He's got some serious pop. I don't think he worries about if the wind's blowing in or not. What ballpark he's at. He knows that. That's the beauty. He just goes up. Thinks about hitting the ball hard.
Broke his bat on that one, foul ball.
That'll hurt the finger.
Yeah, that's no bargain.
Especially on a cold night. See him blowing in his hand. That hurt.
Eighth inning yesterday for Mr. Morse.
I love the reaction of Vargy right here.
He knew it, man.
And don't think he didn't want that win so bad.
Exactly.
I mean, he's just like, oh, yes, it's good to be back home. Going to shove it to my ex-team a little bit here. And then, oops, one pitch.
1-2 pitch, got it up.
Too much of the plate.
Yep, Morse eliminated it. Ooh, the fist popped up. Out of play. Tells you the competitor Vargas is. I mean, he gives you poker face most of the time, but he is. You can feel the intensity.
Here's what I got right on my sleeve, man. Nothing wrong with that.
Not at all. That's why so many people liked him around here. Wish him luck, except when he plays the Mariners.
Yeah, he wanted the ball.
Yeah, he did. And so just let him stay out there too. He pitched what, 8 innings. Inside. Michael Morse. Be followed by Jesus Montero. Montero fly to center and a walk and a run scored. One, two from Britton. Fly ball off the end of the bat to his buddy Adam Jones. 2 outs. Let's revisit our trivia question. And a fan result. Which team has the best record in Major Leagues this season? Jay and I went with the Pirates. Fan rode with the Atlanta Braves, with the Boston Red Sox. Survey says it's the Boston Red Sox.
Social media. Anybody. That's not. Then we are right. It is Pittsburgh. See, they just put it up wrong.
The Boston Red Sox.
It's supposed to be C.
Yeah, Boston Red Sox. You bet. Montero.
I mean, how about that though? How about Boston? I mean, they're not even a thought. And look, coming out of the gates playing hot.
Well, they got Big Papi back.
And who is, speaking of hot,
yes.
I mean, he just stepped right in.
And the pitching's been a lot better than a lot of people anticipated. 0-1 here to Montero.
Good for that town right now, especially.
Yes, indeed. Machado throws over, and that'll go. Good inning for Britton. He goes 1, 2, 3 in the fifth. Mariners lead it 3-2.
3-2. Hi, everybody. Angie Mentink here at the Ford Sports Desk. The Angels lost the series to the Mariners, and then they headed down the West Coast for a series with the Oakland A's. And Seattle did such a good job of keeping the Angels' big three in check. Well, LA was up 1-0 in the second. That's when Mark Trumbo goes deep. That is a no-doubter off of Dan Straley to double the Angels' lead. Straley filling in for Brett Anderson tonight, and right now it's still 2-1 in the top of the fifth. Guys?
All right, Angie, thank you very much. Here's a look at the American League West standings. Rangers on top. The A's hanging in the 2 spot, and the Mariners third now.
I went over and I did an inning on the radio with the guys, and I saw the trivia. Did you get the trivia right, Jay?
Yeah, we got part of it right, if you can believe
so
that.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
We both went with Pittsburgh, and it came up D, which was Pittsburgh, and it was supposed to be C, Boston Red Sox, so we got part of it right.
So did Curtis give you credit for getting it right?
Yeah,
he's saying no.
Negatory. Good breaking ball there to Markakis. Top of the order, Markakis, Machado, and Jones here in the 6th.
He keeps track of it all. So I figured if you had it right, if you had it right, I was going to put it on my ledger. But since you didn't, I'm out.
Saunders had a good beat on it. Here he comes, and he makes a catch.
Nice play. Good jump.
Good center field play with Saunders starting out there, and then Goody, and then Andy Chavez is filled in beautifully.
Michael played a lot of center field last year with Franklin Gutierrez on the DL. Did a great job. Covers a lot of ground for a big man. He can really run.
One out from Manny Machado. Strikeout looking and an infield hit.
Did you ever play center field in the big leagues?
I broke in '88 with the Yankees playing center field. Believe it or not.
Ryan playing a couple steps on the grass. Throws out Machado. Nice play. 2 outs.
It's fun to watch on D, no doubt about it.
Yeah,
it makes it look so easy.
Well, he's one of the best. Take a look at this ball. Line drive, 1 hopper. Ready to give it a little bit of ground. Knows he has a lot of time. Strong arm. Better arm than I think most people give him credit for.
I like the fact he stayed low, too, man. Keep your eyes down there and see it all the way in. I guess the Buffalo's talking to him, huh?
6 in a row retired by Joe Saunders. Here's Adam Jones. Jones 4th in batting average, 2nd in runs, having a great year. Leads the league in hits with 37, 3rd in total bases. He's all over the place.
It's safe to say he's seen it pretty good up there, huh?
I think so.
Yeah, to answer your question, Michael, I was in center. Ricky Henderson was in left, and Dave Winfield was in right.
What were you doing out there?
I was trembling.
Couple of Hall of Famers.
Who came in?
I got it, Mr. Winfield.
When you were traded away, was that when Roberto Kelly came in and started playing center?
Sure is.
Good player.
Absolutely.
And Dino's been busy. Throws out Jones. So 7 consecutive retired by Joe Saunders. And he's got a 3-2 lead. Today's Tracer Technology is brought to you by the Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest. 3-2 lead for the Mariners, first of a 3-game set with the Baltimore Orioles. And let's get a question from Jaden, our Ask the Booth segment. Hey, Jay, I knew this was coming. What does getting squishy mean?
What does it mean? That means getting a little back leg in or getting squishy. It means basically when you're locked in, you're seeing the ball good and you square it up, you're getting squishy. And you're doing it on a consistent basis, at bat after at bat after at bat. You can see guys are squishy sometimes the way they take a pitch, you know they're right on it. You know, you just kind of see it in their body language. And, yeah, so that was just one of my deals. I've always said getting squishy. Like Saunders' first AB, he was a little squishy.
Press that baseball, right?
Absolutely.
Off the end of the bat for Smoke, 1-1. Smoke, Bay, and Andino here in the 6th. Mariner RBIs by Michael Saunders in the 1st with a leadoff home run. A 1-out RBI double by Bay in the 4th, and the next hitter was Robert Andino. He singled to right, brought in a run. Broken bat.
Filet of fish.
Ball left field, drops in front of Rimo. He'll take it.
Absolutely. He can get another bat.
Never saw anybody give one of them back, that's for sure. So he catches this off the end of the bat, shatters it. Maybe a changeup going away from him, but it finds some outfield grass.
That's throwing some head, huh?
My goodness.
That's a weird feeling when that happens. You feel that all that weight come off, and it's like, oh man, it's like you boomeranged it out.
Well, it's a great feeling when you see it hit the grass out there.
Got a little trouble going on.
Trainer coming out, Buck Showalter coming out.
You got trouble.
Something is going awry for Zach Britton.
This is his first start at the major leagues. He had 3 starts at AAA before he came here. 87 pitches.
He's going to come out the way.
Oh, he's pointing at his shoulder.
Well, that's not good.
No.
Looks like he's going to go up on the mound, maybe throw one, see, just to make sure. But it's not looking good. Rich Bancell's their trainer out there.
Bad ball.
That's okay.
Interesting. All right. I know we see a lot of oblique injuries. Alan Porter, home plate umpire, going out to talk to him. This was after the base hit by Smoke. Well, let's see what happens now with Jason Bay. Jason Bay having a good night, a single and an RBI double. Smoke's aboard, nobody out. Nice diving play by Machado on the transfer. Can't make it. Everybody's safe.
Thank you very much.
A base hit. 3 for 3 night for Jason Bay.
I like that.
And this is a break for the Mariners. The hard part is to come up with the ground ball. As you see Machado going to his left, dives and stays low to the ground, able to come up with it. And that's an easy play for him to make that little flip throw to second from his knees. There you can see he's not happy about it, because he knows he would have been able to get the lead runner, Smoke. You look at the McDonald's Super on the transfer, it just comes out of his glove.
Went right through his fingers.
Yeah, that would have been an easy play for him once he was able to make the catch. So a good break for the Mariners.
So Andino with a chance to drive in another run against his former team. 1 for 2. Nobody out. Bunt gets down a beauty. Britton throws to the first baseman. Chris Davis, and Robert Andino executes the bunt.
Winning baseball.
Nicely done there. That's his second sacrifice of the season.
In these situations, you don't have to lay down a perfect bunt. Just kill it out in front of the plate somewhere. The base runners are doing their job. You should be able to get him over there. It's a good play. So many times you see guys trying to lay down a perfect bunt in a sacrifice situation, Jay, and you really don't need that if the guys on the bases are doing their job.
I agree.
And Dino, a good night.
Find some grass.
1 for 2 with a sacrifice, and he's got 7 assists out in the field. Here's Ryan. Fouled out and a strikeout.
Ryan was in a similar situation in the 4th inning when he ended up striking out. They took a couple of pitches to fall behind. Good to see him at least being aggressive here. His 3rd time up.
Owen to Ryan.
Oh boy.
Right side. Marquez got to play it on a high. Scoring is Smoke. 4-2. Mariners, and down to 3rd goes Bay. Brendan Ryan picks up an RBI, his 4th, a base hit here in the bottom of the 6th.
You're right, Michael, being aggressive.
Yeah, just be more aggressive early in the count. So many times you fall behind, you become defensive, and that's a good pitch to hit fastball in the middle of the plate. Fouled the first pitch off, comes right back with a fastball, and hits it hard to right field. Mariners 3 for 5 tonight with runners in scoring position. You were talking about at the beginning of the game, every now and then you need a little something good to happen, Jake, just for your overall attitude. So that's a nice base hit for Brendan Ryan.
Especially with men in scoring position. They've been struggling with that.
There's Saunders. Worked the walk his last time up. He's got a home run, a strikeout, and a walk. Looking to do more damage with a couple of men on and 1 out. Big part of this inning, the Andino sacrifice. Tommy Hunter heating up for Baltimore. Broken bat, slow roller. Casilla, Hardy, and they won't get Saunders. Another run scores. 5-2 Mariners. Fielder's choice RBI. Saunders' 2nd RBI tonight. Well, we saw the stoppage in play, and I was wondering why Alan Porter, watch this, Alan Porter he knows what happened, and you can see he's mad and angry with himself. And he threw the ball back. Britton didn't see it, wasn't anticipating it, and hit Britton. How about that? Here's Seager. Ball 1.
I've heard of a chuck and duck, but not from the umpire.
Yeah, right. So 2 outs. Runner at first to Saunders. And a 1-0 count here to Kyle Seager. Good catch by Brad Adams to see that the umpires throw back to the pitcher and hit him.
What are we doing up here?
Take a look. And evidently, Alan Porter has a really good arm. Let's see. Boom.
Hey.
Ooh, look at his action. Ay, ay, ay.
Oh, there's nowhere to hide when you do that.
No.
Nowhere to hide.
He flips it. Wow. Ricochet, my goodness. No wonder Britton took such a long walk.
I was wondering why he was standing out towards second base.
Right? Same thing. Now we know. Well, you know, Porter's got a pretty good wing.
Yeah.
Good job by Brad Adams. Wraparound host. He saw it out from out his vantage point in center field. Meanwhile, Seager's got a 3-1 count. That's a fair ball. Saunders can run. He's in second. Seager will get the second easily. Here comes Saunders being waved around. He'll score easily. Seager digging for third. He's in safely with an RBI triple. Kyle Seager getting it done. His first triple of the season. The second team triple. And more importantly, more runs on the board for the Mariners. They lead 6-2.
Just hooks it right inside the bag. You can see Davis coming off the bag. He was holding Saunders on and wasn't able to shift his weight quickly enough as Kyle rips it by down into the corner. You knew that Saunders was going to score once it got past that little corner of the wall.
Hangs up underneath that
Hangs
wall.
up under the padding, right? That's why Seager ended up with a triple.
Saunders carrying the mail for first.
Saunders scored twice tonight. Driven in 2 runs tonight. Seager with an RBI, his 13th. So Seager joins Saunders as the only 2 guys in the Mariner Ball Club with triples so far this season.
I'm impressed with Sieg staying in there on those lefties too, man. They have great ABs against left-handers.
Joe Saunders now got a 4-run cushion.
It's a really good point, Jay, because last year you look at the year that Kyle had leading the club in home runs and RBIs and doing all the things he did. The one thing that you could nitpick at was his ability to hit left-handers. He struggled with that last year. That hasn't been the case this year. He's improved. And it's one of the reasons why he's in the lineup every day. And Eric Wedge trusts him to be in there against the left-handers.
Keeps getting better and better, doesn't he? As he learns the league, learns more about himself, more about tendencies, studies the game. It's good to see.
2-0 count to Morales. Up the middle. Garcia calls off Hardy. Throws out Morales, but a good inning for the Mariners as they tack on 3 more to take a 6-2 lead over the Orioles. Related, but for the moment, for our purposes, they are. They're Mariners. And both guys having good nights. Joe Saunders has retired the last 7 men that he's faced. Michael Saunders has driven in 2 runs, got a home run. He's scored twice. The Mariners enjoy a 6-2 lead. Robert Andino, the former Oriole, he's got 7 assists tonight. Here's Chris Davis. That's a strike. Chris off to an outstanding start.
That's pretty impressive. Huh?
He's 6th in batting average, leads in homers and RBIs, leads in slugging.
1,200 OPS.
That's ridiculous. Is 2nd in extra base hits. On base percentage, he's in good shape. He's 5th.
but 28 ribbies in a month.
Yeah, there you go.
Tough pace to keep up with, though.
It'll be Chris Davis, Matt Wieters, and J.J. Hardy, 4, 5, and 6 for the Orioles.
How would you like to have 28 ribbies, Michael, going into May? Be pretty good, wouldn't it? Something to play with a little bit.
It'll be about 4 years to do that. 4 years of Aprils to do that.
Bay looks like he might have room. No, he doesn't. 2-2.
No, you remember me.
Oh,
it was a mess. Our lockers were
Yeah.
next to each other. I would look at you. What's going on every year?
But leave it to
Terrible.
Lou, man. He knew.
Yep,
Leave you in there.
The Ilya was great.
You got busy in a hurry.
Chris Davis, formerly with the Texas Rangers.
Safe to say that last year learned a lot about himself. Had a big year last year, too.
Yeah.
Gain confidence.
Absolutely.
270, 33 homers, 85 runs batted in. This is a guy that hit 118 homers in the minor leagues. As you look at Matt Wieters, 2-run homer in the 4th.
He's got a third of it right now.
How about that, huh?
28 ribbies already. Come on.
Yeah.
Acquired from Texas on July 30th of 2011 with Tommy Hunter for Koji at Uehara.
Leave it to Buck, though, to know, hey, I'm going to put you out there every day. I see something in you. Go get him.
And right now he has to be thinking, just wait till it heats up at Camden Yards this summer.
Boy. Took a lot off of that. Lost Davis. First walk issued by Joe Saunders. Leadoff man aboard here in the 7th. This Mother's Day, you'll give Mom 2 things that sparkle when you take her to a Mariners game. Safeco Field Diamond plus a beautiful Mariners bracelet. It's free to the first 10,000 women 21 and older on Sunday, May 12th. Thanks to EQC. Make plans to celebrate at Safeco Field. Get your tickets for Mom and the whole family. Mariners.com. Wieters fouls one off. Mom and child, they came prepared for this evening here. At first pitch at 7-11, it was 51 degrees. We'll get you an update. I believe it has dropped significantly.
I think they said it's snowing at the pass.
Yeah, exactly. Ryan
James required.
and Dino, they turned a double play. It's the second double play tonight. Turned by the Mariners.
Nicely done.
Here's our money tree in time play, and that certainly was.
They need a double play. Left-handers to a right-handed hitter. Little sinker away at 89 miles an hour.
Roll over Beethoven.
Yeah, easy flip for Brendan Ryan.
I love it. Brendan, get into the ball right there.
Yeah,
He's done. He don't sit back on nothing. When you got hands like that, why would you? I mean,
right. Well, that's true, but he makes the second baseman's job a lot easier by doing that too. He can sit back and wait for another hop if he wants to, but he's always trying to turn the double play, and typically he's more aggressive than you see most shortstops.
49 degrees right now, but the real feel says 46. I think the three of us would dispute that, but whatever. 1-1. Bounced up there.
Heaters turned up high over here, Dave. Sorry.
That was the report. Exactly.
he's got my knee over here melting right now. But I'm not complaining.
2-1 is the count to J.J. Hardy. Mariners lead 6-2. Boy, pulled a lot off of that. 2-2. Joe Saunders loves pitching here in Safeco Field tonight. Good run support. Runs that pitch away, full count.
We're talking about it. 13 innings, scoreless baseball here this year. Pitched well here throughout his career. Made the one mistake to Wieters that hurt him. That was the 2-run home run. Other than that,
line drive down the line. That is foul. Third base umpire. Have a good look at it, Mike Estabrook.
You almost didn't get that out of your mouth.
no, I didn't. That's the way it works sometimes, though.
It was a good look.
There's not a whole lot of foul territory down there either.
No, and we can't see down into the corner.
practice.
He practices that play every day.
Like it's nothing.
Another day at the office. Brendan Ryan, outstanding play. That'll do it for the Orioles in the seventh inning stretch time. Coming up with the Mariners leading 6-2.
Our seventh inning stretch is brought to you by Washington's Lottery. Want more chances to win some cash? Buy a $5 Mega Millions ticket with a $5 Mega Flyer and receive a voucher for a chance to win one of 5 $1,000 prizes each week. Play bonus play from Washington's Lottery today. Visit wallottery.com for details. Hi, everybody. Angie Mentink here at the Ford Sports Desk. On the Mariners' next road trip, they will go to Pittsburgh. Today, the Pirates taking on the Brewers. And the Brewers hit 5 home runs, including this one by former Mariner Yuniesky Betancourt. He finished the night with 3 RBIs. Milwaukee wins. Makes it look like an easy game, 10-4. Betancourt now hitting .286 for the Brewers now. Guys, back upstairs to you.
Uni with his second stint with the Milwaukee Brewers as we look at veteran Tommy Hunter.
8th appearance of the year for Tommy. 2.5 ERA. Opponent's average just 2.05.
Inside to Michael Morse.
I don't know if you remember Tommy Hunter when he was with the Rangers.
Yeah, Texas, absolutely.
It's strange, and we've seen some of it with Oliver Perez too, but Tommy was a starter over there, and his fastball's around 91. Watch him now. He's 96, 97.
Fly ball up the end of the bat. Markakis ranging towards the line. Easy play for him. 1 out.
So where does that come from?
I don't know. I think maybe just because he doesn't feel like he has to save anything. If you take a look at Britton, takes this shot by the umpire, Alan Porter, off the shoulder.
How about if he goes on the DL for that? That would not be good.
Well, it would not be good at all.
Yeah, there's no hole you can crawl into right now.
At that
He's
point.
like, man, if I'd have hit him in the bonnet too, hit him in the head, could you imagine? He's out there spitting chiclets. That would not be good.
Not at all. Not at all.
For Britton, 6 innings, 10 hits, 6 runs, all of them earned. A couple of walks, 2 strikeouts through 101 pitches. But I think, Jay, maybe it's just because he feels I'm going to come in and pitch for an inning or two, and I'm just going to turn it loose.
And over there, he had to try to go 6 or 7, and no
Trying
one's
to sink
big
it
thing.
a little bit more.
No one's big thing is learn how to pitch. You know, take speeds off.
Use 5 pitches or whatever. Now
But every now and then, wouldn't he rear back and just let one go? I never saw him throw 96.
We saw him last year come out of the bullpen for the Orioles, and I gave the scouting report on what I remembered him with the Rangers, and he's throwing 97.
Wrong Hunter.
Yeah, exactly. That is exactly right.
Wrong guy. He's a 13-game winner for the
It's like you guys in spring training, all these guys coming out going, wait a minute.
Oh, man, weak wave by Montero. He's gone.
It's like when I went and saw Percival for the first time. Remember that down in Anaheim?
Yeah, you do it.
Yes.
And now they're all doing that.
Yeah. They were talking about that today.
You know, they were talking about Yuniesky Betancourt. I mean, he's got like 25 ribbies, too, by the way.
Yep.
Over there with Milwaukee. I was watching him yesterday. I was like, oh my goodness, playing third base.
He was in camp with the Phillies. Yeah. Didn't get that like a week to go. Wanted his shorts like Garland did that he's going to make the club. They couldn't give it to him, so they put him on waivers, and Brewers picked him up again.
What a score for them, huh? Striking lightning in a bottle right there. And they know him, like you said.
Yeah.
Second stint. Know what you're going to get. Utility guy. Now he's playing third.
Smoke with a broken bat single his last time up and scored. An RBI by Brendan Ryan.
Kind of like Omar every year when you come into camp. Next thing you know. 98. That's not 91, Mike.
No, it's not.
That's Cheddar.
0-2.
That's 99.
I don't know where it came from.
The guns broke.
I saw him for a couple of years with the Rangers as a starter, and I'm telling you, maybe 93 every now and then.
That's impressive.
High at 2-2. Tommy 6'3", 260. Out of Indianapolis, lives in Arlington, Texas. 7-8 last year with the Orioles in 33 games. He started 20 of them. Full count to Smoke.
Power slider right there.
Tommy had 133 innings last year. That's a career best. The combo starting and relieving.
Right.
3-2. 7-8 record. Jason Bay having a fabulous night. He's 3 for 3. Mariners are running the first, 2 in the fourth, 3 in the sixth. There you go, base hit. Left field, Smoke.
Go for it.
Reinhold up with the throw. It's offline and a stand-up double with 2 outs here in the 7th for Justin Smoke, his 3rd double of the season.
Nicely done.
2 hits tonight. Well, he needed that, didn't he? Get a couple of knocks this evening. Joined Mariner legend Dan Wilson, Jay Buhner, and Edgar Martinez for the United Way Celebrity Softball Classic for homeless youth at Safeco Field on Saturday, June 15th. Sonics legend, the Glove, Gary Payton, Seattle Seahawk, Golden Tate, Pearl Jam's Jeff Ament, and many more. They're going to be on hand. More than 1,000 kids will be homeless tonight in King County, so get your tickets today. Make a difference at uwkc.org/softball. Bay perfect tonight, 3 for 3. Single, double infield, single, and an RBI. Runs scored.
You can see Justin hit the ball hard the other way. It's that little flare out there for a base hit, take the pressure off.
Got him a double.
Yeah, hit a good fastball
hit it where it was
way.
pitched, and he ends up getting a double with the shift.
Tomahawk that one down to Machado.
Nice play.
Machado throws out a hustling Bay for the 3rd out. No runs, a hit, no errors, a man left. 7 completed. Safeco Field, 6-2 Mariners. rain in the state of Oregon? Then Root Sports is looking for you throughout the month of May. Capture a photo on Instagram or Twitter. Hashtag Ultimate NW Fan Oregon, showing why it should be you. You'll be entered to win a trip and a VIP experience to Mariners Fan Appreciation Night in September here at Safeco Field. For official rules, go to rootsports.com. Nice pitch to start off Steve Pearce from Joe Saunders. Here he is working in the 8th. Pearce 0 for 2. And Joe Saunders, 1 strikeout, 1 walk, giving up 2 runs on 4 hits.
A couple of double play balls have helped him out. 88 pitches working here in the 8th. He's been efficient tonight. We do have some action out in the pen. It looks like Oliver Perez, Carter Capps out there.
2-1. Fly ball center field from Michael Saunders. 1 out.
Look in the bullpen. There's Carter Capps, hard throwing right-hander. And Oliver Perez.
There's a guy with a Sonic hat. Very disappointing news today for Seattle and the Pacific Northwest that the Sonics doesn't look like they're going to be, the Kings aren't going to be moving here from Sacramento. That is bad news. Well, dribbler. Saunders handles. Throws out Weimel. Very, very, very disappointing news. Come on, NBA.
I hear you, man. It'll happen. But it doesn't look like it'll be with the Kings.
Yep. All I know is that all the guys I know that are still covering the NBA and people around the NBA love coming to Seattle.
It's a great town.
Yeah, it was the same way when Jay and I were playing.
I loved it.
Playing against all the guys coming to town. They look forward to coming to
Absolutely.
I love going down the pike. And
I remember late 70s.
Market.
Late 70s, early 80s covering the NBA. It was like, cool. A trip to Seattle. Hey, all right. There's Alexei Casilla 0 for 2. Ground ball to Ryan. Boy, Saunders has been fabulously efficient this evening. He goes 1, 2, 3 in the 8th. Coming up for the Mariners, Andino, Ryan, and Saunders in a 6-2 Mariner lead. Mariners baseball on Root Sports is being brought to you by Captain Morgan. Raise your glass always in moderation to life, love, and loot. And by Mazda. We believe if it's not worth driving, it's not worth building. Dave Sims, Mike Flowers, Jay Buhner joining us here tonight. Robert Andino, Brendan Ryan, and Michael Saunders here in the home 8th. Andino, the former Baltimore Orioles, had a very nice night. Been involved in 2 double plays. He's had made 8 assists in the field. Terrific sacrifice. Moving runners up in the 6th inning and an RBI single in the 4th. Second inning for Tommy Hunter. He fools Andino big time there, 1-2.
Just missed it.
And well, that's what we were talking about earlier today, Jay, before the game, and that is he knows that the guy's out there throwing 98 miles an hour. You try to cheat on that fastball, and you're not going to be anywhere near the breaking ball.
97 gets him. Tommy Hunter's second strikeout. One out here in the Mariners' eighth. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Seattle Mariners and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Seattle Mariners.
And then he turns around, throws the fastball, and it looks like it's 110.
Yeah, right on the outside corner.
Because he just threw a 80, whatever it was.
Here's Ryan, picked up an RBI single to right last time up, 1 for 3. Chops one down to Machado. 2 down. That's a good looking player there, boy. Manny Machado. Here's an ask the booth question. What do the Mariners do with the broken bats, Mr. Buhner?
Well, I know some of the things they do. Right when you come into the home clubhouse, there's a guy that stands over there that puts a little hologram on it to make it official. And I know they use some for auction items for Mariners Care. Some go to auction items because they get obviously tons of requests throughout the year. But I know a lot of the proceeds go to Mariners Care.
That's good. Good to know.
Sometimes the guys will sign them.
We thank Jonathan for his tweeting in his question.
When they get blown up like the last couple and they're in 2 pieces, a lot of those get thrown out, to be quite honest with you.
A friend of mine that I played baseball with at the University of Washington, Steve Toohey, he was a bat boy for a while. He used to get them. We used to put nails in them and tape them up and use them again. I don't think they do that anymore. We used to walk out of the clubhouse with them all the time.
That's decidedly old school. I love it. I love it.
Will that be considered doctoring the bat?
Well, we didn't use them in games, but it was just cool to have them, you know.
As a major league bat.
As kids, yeah.
And then on the other hand, in spring training, remember you're facing a guy and you got one that's not quite good. It's flaking a little bit or it's got a little crack. You're taking that one up there, too.
That's right.
I'm not going to lose my good game. I'm going to take this one up to this guy.
You'd have a pretty good idea that you're going to take it off the knuckle.
Absolutely.
So sacrifice that one.
The lefties are throwing that cutter down and in on your back foot.
Hardy throws out Saunders. Joe Saunders looks like he's coming out. He's looking for the old CG. 6-2 Mariners. Years. Join millions of fans and subscribe today. Watch every out-of-market game live online on your favorite mobile and connected devices in HD quality with MLB.TV Premium. Visit MLB.TV today. MLB.TV, baseball everywhere. Joe Saunders, he has been rocking and rolling here tonight. He's going for his 8th career complete game. It would be the Mariners' first of the season.
Like it, too. The crowd gave him a little love when he went back out there. That's a good pitch. That pitch has been working for him all night.
Top of the order, Nick Markakis, Manny Machado, and Adam Jones.
He's a good shape with his pitch count. We talked about how efficient he was. This will be the 96th pitch of the ball game. Feel him breaking ball.
1-2. Markakis 0 for 3 tonight.
Just in case Tom Wilhelmsen is getting loose in the Mariner pen. He's been pretty good, by the way, Jay.
Reached out. Here's Ryan. Got a nice hop. Throws out. Markakis for out number 1.
And if you're a right-hander getting ready to walk up there, you're going, oh, please do not come in the game.
That's right.
Get on base with incredible savings and freedom of riding Sound Transit. To plan your next trip, visit soundtransit.org. Machado strikeout looking in infield, hitting the ground out. Took something off of that, and another one hopper to Ryan. Nicely done. 2 outs.
Just keeping it on the ground, Jay, all night long. Just ground ball after ground ball. Brendan Ryan's been busy.
Yes, he has. Little on, little off, and Dino, him both up the middle. It's fun to watch.
It is.
Sitting back in his little rocking chair, other than the home run down the left field line, he's settled in pretty nice.
100 pitches now.
Adam Jones, let's take a look at his Amica hit zone. There it is. 2-time All-Star. The All-Star team last year. First pitch, strike. Adam Jones, a ground out, hit into a double play and another ground out.
We're talking about playing against your former team. Joe has to feel pretty good about this one tonight.
Oh, heck yeah. Still in the gym.
Yeah.
Give the bullpen a little bit of a day off. Knock on wood. Love how the home plate umpire let Montero throw the next one back.
Yeah, he's done with that.
He said, here, take it, hurry.
He may be done for a while with that one, right after drilling Zach Britton. Here's a 1-2 to Adam Jones. Up high, 2-2.
Scarred for life.
Two and two. Held on by Montero. That's the ball game. Joe Saunders goes to 8-0. Safeco Joe. 8-0 at Safeco Field. And he wins a 6-2 decision tonight to go 2-3 on the season and 2-0 home at home this year. That's a great performance by Joe Saunders.
Good to give him some run support today. The guy's 3 for 8 with runners in scoring position.
Like
Good
that,
to have Michael Saunders back with a home run, Jay.
A little thunder in the middle of the lineup again. Played nice, fundamentally sound baseball and hit with men in scoring position. You're right.
Kyle Seager with a big RBI triple. 2 hours and 12 minutes as Joe Saunders takes his home ERA to 1.22 here with this win tonight. Back with more right after this.